Hey, it's Twyla. I'm going to talk for approximately 25 minutes about why they might hate you or resent you. There's just a lot of people that seem to just like impossible for them to just celebrate your success. And it's like you tell them news or like make a post or something that you're really excited about, and they just like, oh, cool, you know what I mean? Or like maybe they don't react at all. And you wonder where that comes from. Now, I want to make a distinction. It's not, you know, look at the state of the world, right? Everyone has this like resentment and like bitterness. And I have empathy for them. You know, it's rough out here. Like everyone assumes that people have bad intentions right off the bat. And like I said, I know where that comes from. But so there's a distinction. You know, if someone is kind of being rude to you, just kind of like defensively, that's different from people that like hate you or resent you. I'm going to be talking about those people, the latter, you know, that actually seem to resent you. And I'm going to go through some of the reasons why they could resent you. So let's get into it. So people hate you. The first reason is people might hate you because they can't lie to you. So whether you're just very intelligent or maybe you've dealt with a lot of manipulation before, perhaps both, but you do not believe their lies. And they hate you for it. You make their life more difficult because if you don't believe their lies, they have to try to convince you even more. And if they can't convince you, now they perceive you as a threat because they don't want you to tell everybody else how they really are. You know, they can't hold up, you see through their mask. And slash or you've unmasked, and they know that they don't have the balls to unmask, and they're still carrying their mask. Not only do you see through it, but you have had the courage to drop yours, and they still have theirs glued to their face. So so you make their life more difficult because of that, but this has nothing to do with you. And that is the main point of this whole video is their resentment for you is 100% to do with them. I used to feel like it was 100% to do with me, but it is quite the opposite. This has nothing to do with you, and keep chasing your truth. You need to cling to it. Keep chasing your truth, because humanity has existed under this veil of forgetfulness. Like I think of like the Never-Ending Story and movies like that, just the nothingness just swallows everything up. You know, it's just like people's sadness, their hopelessness. There's a lot of, there's endless metaphors. But humanity has existed under this veil of forgetfulness, but the veil is thin right now. It's exciting. It shouldn't be scary. It's exciting. The veil was put in place to protect us, but we have evolved and we don't need it anymore. It was like our training wheels. You know, that's the imagery that I have because, you know, I grew up like most of us did. Things of that nature. Sorry if it's like a cheesy analogy, like the training wheels thing, but, or even like pottery, like if you've ever taken a pottery class, like the instructor, like they might kind of be giving you hands-on instruction that first lesson, but as the lessons go on, they might just give you verbal instruction, and then you do it from there, and your skill evolves. So anyways, in the same way, like you make the shape, and the instructor would just give you guidance. So now, you know, we don't have that guidance, or that the training wheels, I should say, okay, sorry, I misspoke. We do have guidance, you know, but the training wheels that were kind of like making it to where people were kind of living in, I should say, okay, like the bumpers, right? The bumpers in bowling, where people are existing between these. Now the bumpers are off. Now people can go into the gutter, sink or swim, baby. This is 2025. You're either going to ascend into love and trust, or you're going to fall, quite literally fall down into the pit. And the people that are falling right now, they know they're slipping. They can feel themselves slipping, and that's why they're grabbing onto you, and they are trying to pull you down with them. Do not go down. you know it's serious when the autistic makes eye contact like that. Do not go down. Hold on to your truth with dear life. Do not let them take that from you. They cannot take your truth, and they cannot take your dignity. Those are yours. They cannot take your integrity. Guard those at all costs with your life. So, the veil, right? It was like our training wheels, yada yada. Moving on. Audacity, you know, the internet culture, you know, men's, oh, the audacity, has a very negative connotation. But audacity in and of itself, it should have a more, or at least it can have a more positive connotation. And I looked it up, and it means to take bold risks. Like, we need more audacity in the world. Everyone is so worried about people's judgment, or like a lot of the decisions that we make. I was just talking about that today. Like, a lot of the decisions that people make aren't even because they do want to do that thing or they don't. It's like how they're going to be perceived. And if we take that away, sometimes if we just take other people's eyes off of us away, sometimes we can, that is the thing that we need to really step into authenticity. That's why it can be beneficial to kind of just unplug and take a break, just focus on yourself, reflect. We need periods like that, just like human beings are just like the seasons, right? We're all mirrors of each other. We're all mirrors of nature. And we have these seasons of rest and rejuvenation, just like bears, like little bears hibernate, you know? We really do need that. We need to look to them. But the veil, blah, 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 audacity, we got that. You got to take bold risks. Your light, this is another reason why they might resent you. Your light casts their shadows. So they are forced to look at their shadow selves because you shine so bright. And your shadow, it's there, and you embrace your shadow. They're like, oh yeah, well, I see your shadow. And you're like, yeah, I know. It's there. I know her. I know her real well. Not real well, knock on wood. That's not real wood, but close enough. Yeah, so it's just know your shadow, but your light casts their shadows. You're not a slave to the mask like them. I already touched on that. They saw you drop your mask, but their mask is stuck. They can't drop it because it's been there for too long, and they don't even know what's underneath. They don't even know what's underneath the mask, and that's why they get so defensive. You threaten their mask. They know that you see through that because you're intuitive like me, and that's why they resent you. People see you through the lens they see themselves, which is hateful, critical, a tearing down energy. They project their narrative onto you, but do not believe them for a second. People will also resent you because of your boundaries. Boundaries piss people off. You're telling them no. Like, by having a boundary, you are telling them no. Their inner child might get triggered, right? Being told no. It's like these grown adults, sometimes we see them have these temper tantrums right in front of us, and they can be 40, 50 years old. Like, they're full blown, like their inner child gets triggered because you're telling them no. But maintain your boundaries. Do not waver on that. I'm in it with you. You know, I catch so much grief. I catch so much shade from these people just for having my boundary and not giving into them. Stick to that. Again, that's one of those things that you have to really guard with your life. If they don't understand, again, sorry, another reason. If they don't understand something, they project a narrative onto it that helps them understand. A lot of times that's at your expense, right? They can't understand a facet of you, or maybe a few of them, like for instance, my autism, or like that this can go with that, or whatever it is. They can't wrap their mind around it. So it's like they cast their narrative onto it and they fill in the blanks. And that can be so detrimental for us and like our image, but like, who are these people anyways? Like, why should we care about our image in their eyes? Like, whose eyes? You know what I mean? Who are they? No disrespect, but it's just like, if they don't understand, they will. They'll project their narrative onto it, and they'll convince themselves that they have it all figured out. Again, usually at your expense. You know, people have to justify things to sleep at night. They will lie to themselves to sleep at night. And another reason, like, that you can kind of like confirm that these people are not, that they kind of resent you, is they won't like your stuff. Like, even if you, this is stupid, like internet culture, this is so millennial of me, but like, yeah, you'll post something that you're very proud of, like a success of yours, and it just doesn't get very many likes, and you're like, what the heck? And it's like, I don't know, it just, compared to like selfies or something like that, they get so many, or you know, whatever it is. I don't really want to get into that, but yeah, just like, and no likes or like no support, that's a good way to know that they are threatened by you or they resent you, because you alchemize everything. You have mastered this material plane. You're not attached to these things like they are, and they know that, and they're threatened. They're threatened because you see right through their mask. They resent you because the material plane doesn't have that grip on you. You're not concerned with image and how you portray yourself to other people. Like social media, I was watching another creator, knowledge of, starts with an N. I'll have to link it down below. He's really good. He has a little whiteboard. I was inspired by that, and I bought a little whiteboard for my wall. But anywho, I was, what was I? Oh no. Did I just lose that? I was gonna bring up a point. Oh yeah, it came back. Thank you, Lord. It came back. So, he was saying that social media is basically just everybody telling each other what to want, you know, what life to want, what, like, how to look, things like that. And you have to start thinking for yourself, you know. So I can't take credit for that. That's totally him. I'll link it down below. But you really do alchemize everything. You have mastered this material plane. You don't give into that social media game like them. Like, not to sound like elitist like that, but I really don't use my Instagram. Like, I have it for my personal life because, like, all my tattoos, like my tattoos that I've done and stuff, are on there and everything, and I like to keep it. But and it's a good, like, extra security measure for like people in my personal life. But anywho, yeah, so I do have it, but I do not scroll. I swear, I do not scroll on the posts. I don't scroll on Reels. I don't have TikTok. I don't have Facebook. I don't have Twitter. I don't have like any social media. It's just YouTube. And so, anyways, if you have mastered this material plane like that, and you don't give in to the game that everyone's playing, which is social media and all the games within that, that's too much to get into, they will resent you. They will resent you for it. So this obvious resentment, like my aunt, for instance, like I didn't understand why I didn't get any money from like my parents. And I know that sounds really bad, but like, hear me out. There have been friends that I've had where, like, a friend that was my age, and she was a girl too, and like her mom died just like mine, like around the same age, and we were hanging out in her house, her bougie ass house that she got passed down, you know, from her mom. And like, yeah, I got a car out of it, you know, but my car is like 6K, and it's like really nice. It is. I've had to live in there a couple times. I love it. I love driving it. It's so much fun. I love that little car. But beyond that, they say that all the money's gone. And I confronted them because it's too much to get into, and I shouldn't really be talking about that on the internet, but like, there should be something. There really should. And so I brought that up to them, and recently, it took 15 years plus, like 15, 16-ish years for it to come out that my aunt thinks that it's okay that she hoarded all of the money from my mom's death because she helped pay off my mom's mortgage when my mom and dad split up when I was like 6 or 7. So in her mind, it's justified to not give me, because like, obviously I've needed help. I tried everything, you guys. I have asked everyone. I'm like, what about this? What about this? Is there any way I can just get money to sleep inside? I would just love to sleep inside as an autistic person, blah, blah, blah. It's just bad. I can't use the same resources that other people use. I would rather sleep in my car than go to a shelter just because I need isolation. It's too much to get into. I don't have to justify it to anyone. But yeah, so another example of that, of this like resentment, is like other girls, right? They think of you as competition rather than companion. And like we really just, as like a species, need to get back to, you know, girls and girls and guys seeing each other as companions and not competition. Like I'm not, like we don't have to feel threatened by each other. Like there are girls on YouTube that have admitted to dumbing themselves down because they're treated better that way. Because if you're pretty and smart, people automatically interpret you as a threat or intimidating, and they treat you poorly because they're trying to, you know, feel better about themselves. They have to tear you down to kind of climb like on top of you. It's really messed up. But yeah, that was interesting when I came across that. People do want to tear you down, especially, you know, if they in that context, or especially if they can't have you. You know, if somebody wants you romantically or sexually and they can't have you, even if they don't even admit it to anyone else, like they know that in their heart of hearts, and that's why they might resent you. But again, this is 100% the other person and doesn't have to do with you. I know it feels like it's you because they treat you terribly in some cases, but it is not you. So I've debated whether or not to slide this in here. I think I'm just gonna go for it because it's not my term. Like I've heard psychiatrists in other podcasts talk about this, but just like this, forgive me, but like salt, I can't even say it. Small, soft pee-pee energy. This energy of inadequacy, this fear of rejection, and this like beat you to the punch energy. That's all I want to say about that. Moving on. Family. Okay, so family is no different. People in general bond over having a common enemy. Like think about countries, right? We have allies with each other because we have a common enemy. Like in war, we would ally together, yada yada. So families do that too. They bond over having a common enemy, and sometimes that's you. And sometimes you're the scapegoat because it feels so relieving and so good for them to just throw all their shit onto someone else. Just momentarily, even just temporarily, you know? And that's usually you. But again, 100% the other person, 0% you. It's not you. It's really not. At work, right? They undermine your intelligence. That's why I got my last manager canned. Well, a boss, whatever. It was her company. I still have to tell that story sometime. But basically, it was that she undermined my intelligence when I expressed concerns about the ethical concerns in meetings and stuff. She basically tore down the image of me and everyone else's. Like she specifically undermined my intelligence in group meetings or in like the Teams meetings, like online where everyone could see like in the group chat, trying to make me out to be not a credible source, basically. So people, when I expressed these ethical concerns within her company, people wouldn't listen to me. But yeah, kind of bit her in the ass afterwards. And then ever since I've been on this like kind of like little power trip of just like humbling people, because now I believe in myself. I'm like, no, I know what's right. And if I tell the right people, you know, there are other people out there that still believe in doing what's right. Like there was this company that I worked for, and I think I've talked about it on here, but this business guy, he basically said like, it is hard, it's difficult doing what's right, but it is always right doing what's right. And we really need to cling on to that, especially in 2025. So there's the workplace where they'll undermine your intelligence. If you're disabled, people will resent you because they have this like, well, you can't be special, or like you don't get special treatment because maybe they never got special treatment for certain things that they think that they should have, or like maybe they should have, I don't know. But like the fact that like I sought that out, I can't say like you and I, because like I don't know you, but like I sought that out. I sought out the diagnosis so that I like quite literally, it's not special treatment, it's an accommodation, but they treat it like it's a special treatment that you shouldn't get. Like, people act like you were just handed certain things. They're so quick to judge. Like, they have this entitlement, like, it should have been me, and they can't just let you live. But yeah, and if they don't want to be you, they want to harvest your energy and or tear you down. But don't be so quick to be honest and vulnerable with them. Giving those things, honesty and vulnerability, giving those does not guarantee that you get them back. That's a hard lesson that I had to learn. So you have to use caution. Do not tell the truth all the time. Now, I'm not telling you to lie. Don't lie either. I'm very against that. But don't tell the truth all the time. Like, don't tell people, some people, you know, how rough of a spot you're in, because a lot of people will take advantage of that. They'll make you into a target. Don't tell certain people, like, I want this, like, in a relationship, because then people can just pretend to be that thing or those characteristics long enough to hook you until you're so emotionally invested that it's going to hurt really badly to leave, and they know that. Even if it's more of like a subconscious thing, it is intentional what they do to kind of wear this heavy mask of who they are. So don't say like, I want this, or tell them that you're in a rough spot. Also, another one that I've had to learn experientially is like, do not tell people like, I won't marry you until I see this behavior consistently for like this amount of months or a year or whatever it is. Like, if you're working on things within your relationship and they want to take things to the next level, do not say like, please just be like this for this long so I like know it's real or whatever, because that should have been obvious to me. But like, they'll just use that as like, you know, a time frame of how long to keep it up before they could let it down, you know? And so yeah, just use caution. Don't tell the truth all the time, because you're just telling others how to lie to you in some cases, and you really do need to view it like that. I had to start learning that lesson as well, because people don't always have the best intentions. It's harmful, it's harmful to assume the worst from everyone. You know, then we get isolation, yada yada. But it's probably more risky. There's more risk to you, physically and emotionally, to assume that everyone isn't bad. So take that how you will. Another reason why they might resent you is because they cannot replicate you. They hate what you can create. You think of things and you just make it happen, and they don't have that, because that is so, you know, there's buzzwords flying around this day and age like manifestation and blah blah blah, and that's valid. But like, I think it's the autism in me that just is like repelled by like buzzwords like that. But you'll probably see them in my titles, you know, in the near future, because you have to play the game, right? You have to get the message out there. And if people are seeking like manifestation techniques, which really that's just like creating our own reality, right? But if that's what they're seeking, like, you have to play the game and put that buzzword in there. So I am like, they hate you for your manifestations, because that word still is valid in itself. Like, you do manifest these things, and that's a power that you have that they might not necessarily have, and that's a big reason why people might resent you. I was wrapping it all up. I just want to share a couple little quotes here. People are like tea bags. You know, I'm paraphrasing here. People are like tea bags. It's only when they're in hot water do you see what they're made of. Because I think the original quote was like, it was specifically about women that I heard. Like, women are like tea bags. You'll really see what they're made of when they get put in hot water. Like, when people get put under pressure, in other words, their true colors come out. And so, yeah, I just really like that. A final reason why people might resent you is a lot of people will seek control and domination over you. And you have to kind of tell people how to treat you. You have to treat yourself with respect. Even in the dating scene, like, you have to, like, it's so delicate, right? We have to balance humility with knowing our worth and knowing that we could revolutionize someone's life. And so, like, it's funny because I used to say, like, if I have to go Like, oh, I'll text you tomorrow, like, you'll be on my mind. But now in 2025, it's that manifesting stuff you really do. It's powerful, you guys. I hate the buzzwords, I do, but it's powerful. Now I say, I'll be on yours. Like, all right, talk to you tomorrow, I'll be on your mind. Because it just like takes people by surprise, and I feel like people are really receptive, but you just have to have the balls to say things like that. And you really do manifest people being like obsessed with you. You know, all these titles like floating around. Like I said, I'm probably about to be, you know, yeah, I'm about to succumb to it, but I try not to throw words like that, but sometimes that's like all that's coming to mind. Anywho, but yeah, so now I say I'll be on your mind. And it kind of goes to my head, and there's been certain people where, you know, you really do manifest people being like obsessed with you. I've had like multiple guys delete their account because, at least supposedly, right? We don't know if they're being honest, but it seems like they're pretty hooked. You know what I mean? And I'm not doing it manipulatively. I'm really not. It's just like, you're just confident in yourself. You know what you bring to the table. You know your capability of how you can change someone's life for the better. And you just hope that they can meet you there and change your life for the better. And I'm done proving myself to other people. Like, I'm gonna show up as a woman and receive what they have to offer. And if that, you know, is, I don't want to say like is sufficient, but like is what I'm looking for, I have so much to give. But you don't have to make a spreadsheet or a PowerPoint, or like, that's a joke, but like, you don't have to tell all these people everything that you bring to the table. You don't have to prove yourself. You just have to step into your worth, and it's not a facade. So many people on YouTube, like these fake healers, these fake teachers, everyone's teaching like fake it till you make it. But I think that you should really embody those things before you go, you know, dating someone or something. You shouldn't just act like, you know, you're the most confident person, or like you're so valuable, you know, because some people can see right through that. You really have to embody that fully and do a lot of work and shadow work and inner child work and all of that nasty gunk that you have to go through before you can date someone without just puking that all over them. The second you guys get into a conflict or something like that, all of those past childhood wounds are triggered. And in those moments, your reaction supersedes, you know, what would be warranted for, sorry, I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but just like, I mean, like, it's too big for, you know, the situation at hand. And if your reaction is too big for a situation, that points to trauma. So you have to get on top of that yourself. But yeah, people oftentimes want what they think that you could give to them rather than actually caring about you. So let's end with one of my favorite quotes: above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Well, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. More videos like this to come in the future. I'm on this journey with you guys, and yeah, much love. One hug. One hug for whoever wants it, for whoever stuck around this long. Love you guys. See you soon.